what did I just watch? It was a rhetorical question. Scroll up from the comment section, please. The Adventures of Mark Twain has to be one of the most unique feature-length animated movies ever made. Not only is it the first feature-length stop-motion movie to be done entirely in claymation, it's also the only one to date. Sure, you have Wallace and Gromit and other stop-motion movies that use claymation, but those movies used other mediums as well as clay. This one? Everything is clay. The backgrounds, the furniture, the water, the sky, everything you see on screen is made of clay. The subtlety in the performances allows characters to emote in minimal ways rather than in extreme cartoony poses. It may lack the energy of some other stop-motion features like, say, Nightmare Before Christmas or Wallace and Gromit, for example, but it makes up for that in the detail. Every shot in this movie is a feast for the eyes. It's amazing to watch. Sometimes when you place limitations on a creation, like only using one medium to make everything, you have to be more inventive, and this can also force you to find a style that suits the medium more than it suits your own creative process. In the case of Mark Twain, the style gives it a very unique look and allows the focus to be placed on the emotional points in the movie instead of the action points. I never really forgot I was watching animated clay though, but I think that's a good thing. Sometimes full immersion in an animated movie can make you forget that everything you see had to be made from the ground up. It makes you appreciate the skill and patience put into a movie like this to keep a level of consistency. I feel that animation is often taken for granted, because the illusion can be so seamless. I enjoy seeing the finger marks, the pencil lines, and seeing the human element in a creation to remind myself that someone made what I'm looking at. In the 80s, stop motion had to prove it could sustain interest for 90 minutes, and I believe this movie more than achieved that. But there's a dark side to this movie too. It has a split personality. It may seem charming and fanciful on the surface, but it's also cruel and walking very close to the uncanny valley. Claymation can have an empty and soulless look to it if done wrong, and can end up looking unintentionally demonic. Although in this case the movie does it deliberately in one particular scene. Metamorphosis is a perfect theme for claymation to portray, and is perhaps one of the creepiest things about it. Things morph into other shapes, faces melt into other faces. It's really disturbing. But as disturbing as the movie is, it's also very playful. It's autobiographical while also dealing with existential themes. It's a little hammy, yeah. I suppose the movie is not so much telling a story, but asking questions. In Adam and Eve, it's asking, what are we? In The Mysterious Stranger, where my maskophobia was reborn, thank you very much, we are asked, who are we? Captain Stormfield literally asks, where are you from? And then the final questions are with the Adam and Eve reprise with, what have we done? And then additionally, who do we belong to? With the end of the film. It may be over-sentimental and subdued, but I like the ideas it's trying to put across. My favourite moment is when we see a place called Mark Twain's Notebook. A cave full of Mark Twain's unfinished works, papers piling to the ceiling like pillars reaching into nothingness. It's a cave that is a literal representation of writer's block, a room full of failures and disappointments. I love how they touch on negative and darker aspects of our creative mind instead of dancing around the subject and, just frolicking in a field of wildflowers, which is often the case when looking at a creative mind. The movie is very much about the conflict between the part of ourselves we try to hide, the part that we are ashamed of. In Adam and Eve, it is our naked form, vulnerability and naivety. In Mysterious Stranger, it is our inability to learn or face the consequences of our actions. In Captain Stormfield, it's remembering that our own idea of heaven can often be someone else's idea of hell. The movie may be rather rigid, but as a stop-motion feature-length movie, it's a must-see to anyone who considers themselves a fan of animation. It's nice to finally see The Mysterious Stranger, specifically, in context, instead of just, a random video on YouTube. It's still as terrifying as ever, but well, worth the wait, even if it did reawaken a few phobias of mine. I'm Mad Munchkin. Stay creative.